So find a comfortable seat. So you could have your legs crossed if you're comfortable like that. If that's too much of a challenge, you can bend your legs and have the soles of your feet on the ground. Or you could swing round and sit on your shins. We're going to be about 3 minutes in this position, or maybe 5 actually. So get into that comfortable seat and place the palms of your hands on your legs, maybe on your knees. Okay, and I invite you to close your eyes. If that's too much of a challenge, then maybe just a soft gaze past the nose. So we're just going to become aware, be present, and arrive on the mat. So ideally, we've got a nice long back. And by that, I mean we like to sit up nice and tall, not necessarily rigid and straight, because we want to be relaxed. The shoulders melt away from the ears. And we'll go into a body scan. So we'll start with the feet. So just bring your observation down to your feet, observe your feet and your toes. Maybe wriggle them gently. And now think about your feet so they relax and into your ankles, and your lower legs and your knees, and now the upper legs. So any little movement to get rid of any tension. And now our attention comes into our hips, our sitting bones, our pelvis, and now into the lower back, the sacrum, the base of the spine, as we just take our attention up the spine into the middle back and the upper back, and now into the shoulders. Let them go. And the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, the wrists and the hands and every finger. Maybe pick them up and then delicately place them back down onto the knees. And now you're drawing your attention to the back of your neck. Maybe just drop the chin a couple of mil just down so you get a nice lengthen of the back of the neck and up through into the head, and then the energy shining out of the crown. So let's together take a nice breath through the nose, filling up the belly. And then out of the mouth, exhale. Let's do a couple more. So a nice deep breath into the belly, filling the belly, belly expands into the ribs, into the chest, and then exhale through the mouth. Let's do one more. So inhaling, filling the lungs, filling the belly, all the body feels like it's expanding. And then exhale, soften the body all the way out. So just rest in this space for a moment and feel that you're calm and centered. So a little affirmation that you may want to work with today. It's up to you, your choice, but calm and centered. Okay, so gently open the eyes and let's raise the hands above the head, stretching up, interlace the fingers and press the palms up towards the ceiling. So really lifting out of the waist here. Nice long back, maybe tuck the tailbone under a little bit if you can. And on the exhale, float the hands behind, interlace the fingers and squeeze those shoulder blades together. So roll the shoulder blades and squeeze them back. Don't worry if you can't interlace your fingers, maybe just grab the forearms. Then release the left hand down to the mat and raise the right arm up into our side bend. So again, inhaling and then exhaling through the waist. So really lift out the waist, send that right knee down towards the ground and slowly let the arm float past the face. And then the right hand comes down to the right side. And then we do a nice side bend on the other side, lifting the hand up. So the right elbow is nice and bent, nice and soft. And as we reach out of the waist, see if we're trying to pick something up on the other side. And then float the arm past the face and come back up to the center. And the hands come up above the head. Inhale, and on the exhale, twist round to your left. Place your right hand on the left knee and the back hand just behind. Again, anchor the knees down, lifting out of the waist, and we're rotating from the thoracic to about where the bra strap would be if you're wearing one. So twisting round. Try not to over twist the lower back. And just take one more breath here, in and out. And then we slowly turn to the front, raising the hands above the head, and then twist round to the other side. Left hand on right knee, right hand behind you. Lift out of the waist if you can, and gently look behind you. Again, as you soften, just imagine that part of your thoracic spine. So about a third of the way down from the neck. So remembering to breathe. And then we're turning to the front. Placing the palms down in front of you and slide the hands away from you as far as you can until you roll into all fours, and then take the blanket or the cushion away from your mat or your rug, and we place the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Okay, so we call this tabletop. So let's just bring our attention into the palms of the hands, like press it into the ground, make that connection, and every fingertip, including your thumb, will press down, and they're directly underneath the shoulders. Just take a look at your knees and see that they're underneath the hips. Now we've got our toes untucked, so the tops of the feet are on the mat. Nice neutral back, which means generally a flat back, and that depends on what your back looks like. So we've obviously got a curve, so just nice and gently try and get that flat back. Now take a breath in and start dropping the belly down and raising that tailbone up and looking forward, and press the floor away very gently. And on the exhale, let's suck that navel in towards the spine. The spine rolls up to the sky and the chin comes to the chest, and we press into our hands on the tops of our feet. So let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, dropping the belly, tailbone up. Look forward, press into your hands slightly. And on the exhale, let's draw that belly in, round the spine up, and let the head hang down, chin to chest, pressing away with the hands on the tops of the feet. So let's do another cat-cow breath. So inhale, belly down, tailbone up. Let's look forward. And exhale, rolling that lovely spine all the way up to the ceiling, pressing into the hands, and then coming back to your neutral tabletop. Now let's tuck the right toes under and slide your right leg out now. So it's extended behind you. And bend that leg so your sole of your foot is facing towards the ceiling. Pressing into both hands equally if you can. Now raise that foot up a little bit and the belly comes down as we look forward. We do some cat-cow breath like this. So inhale, and on exhale, arch the spine up and bring the knee towards the nose. So inhale, sending this tail back, our tiger tail. Foot comes up towards the sky. We look forward, and then exhale, round it in, crunch it in, knee to nose. Let's do one more this side. Inhale, tiger tail comes up, look forward, and then exhale, knee towards the nose, crunch it in. And come back into our neutral tabletop. See, that wasn't too hard, was it? Now let's tuck the left toes under and slide the left foot out now. So you've got a nice left leg. Press into the heel, get a nice stretch into the calf muscle. And then let's lift that foot up. So we're bending the left leg, sole of the foot facing up towards the sky. Take a breath in. Let's look forward. And then exhale, rolling in, knee to nose, crunch it in. Inhaling, sending that tiger's tail back out, and then look forward, and then exhale, rolling in. This is really great for the spine. So one more, inhaling, lifting that foot up, and exhaling, crunching in. So we're back into our neutral tabletop. Let's tuck the right toes again and slide that foot out. Now this time, you might be able to just be cued by my voice, but if you need to look, that's fine. Let's lift that foot off the ground, so it's about hip height. Get your balance, engage your core, and let's send the opposing arm, the left arm, out above the head. So we're looking down, and we've got the right leg extended out the back, and the left arm extended out the front. Take a breath in, and let's crunch it in. So knee to elbow, arch the back up. Inhale, send the foot out and the hand out again, and we're looking down at the mat. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, stretch it out. We've got one more. So exhale, crunch it in. And then come back into your tabletop. Great job, everyone. So now let's tuck the left toe, slide that foot back, and let's lift that foot off the ground, again about hip height. Take the weight into the left hand and the right knee, and then let's slide that right hand forward. Take a breath in, exhale, let's crunch it in. Now, it doesn't matter if you wobble around, that's good actually. You're creating new neuro pathways. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, crunch it in. One more, inhale, stretch up, exhale, crunch it in. And we're coming back into our tabletop. And now into child pose. So knees together and feet together, and send your hips towards your heels. And if you can, keep your arms extended and see if you can place your forehead towards the mat. If you might need to lift your heels a little bit, that's fine. But come and rest into child pose for 3 breaths. Doing really well. So take that breath into the body, every part, including your toes and your fingers. And just a little reminder of how we're feeling calm and centered. Right, so when you're ready, slowly come up to your tabletop. So again, knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders, and just walk your hands forward, just one pace, and press into your hands. Really engage that palm down. Now we're going to tuck the toes, and we're going to make our way to downward facing dog. So press into the hands, and the hips go towards the heels first, and then lift the knees, and then send the hips up to the sky. Now we've got really bent legs here, a generous bend. We're going to heel towards the mat gently. It's just an aim. If you can't get it there, it's fine. But we're keeping the legs nice and bent. The hamstrings aren't warmed up yet. And the idea here is to have a lovely long flat back. So as you press into the mat, externally rotate the arms out and round. So you're going to hollow in the armpits and a bit of space between the ears and the shoulders. Okay, so a bit more pedaling, a bit more movement. You might want to shake your head, you might want to breathe in, breathe out. And then we're going to walk to the top of our mats. So begin slowly, take your time. Little fairy steps all the way up to the top of the mat. Bend your legs and send your belly to rest on your thighs. And we're coming into our ragdoll, our forward fold. So the legs are so bent that you can actually wrap your forearms maybe behind your knees, or just rest the palms down onto the mat. Little yes and no shake with the head to make sure you've let go. And we're really resting down, bending legs. And just bring your attention to the soles of your feet. See if every part of the sole is connected into the ground. So again, let the head go if you can. And we're breathing nice and steadily in and out. Now we're coming up to standing, so bend the legs more and send the tailbone underneath. So tucking it in, keeping the head hanging down with the arms as we slowly roll up to standing. Nice and slow. Come up to your mountain pose, as we call it, Tadasana. And just have a little check-in that the feet are hip width apart. The hips are over the feet, the heart's over the hips, and your head is over your heart. So you've got a lovely, strong pose. And let's shine the palms forward and relax the shoulders down. Lovely. So just stay still just for a moment if you can. And on the next in-breath, let's raise the palms up towards shoulder height, keeping the arms extended in front. Turn the palms and exhale, float the arms back down. Lovely. So the arms, turn the palms face forward and just lift the arms in front of you all the way up to shoulder height. Inhaling, turn the palms, exhaling. So we've got one more of these, nice and gentle. We're really triggering the parasympathetic nervous system. So inhaling up and exhaling them down. And on the next breath, the hands come out to the side as we raise the hands all the way above the head, stretching. And then exhale, bend the knees and we're forward fold. Go back down to our ragdoll, all the way down. Taking it easy, nice bent legs. And as we take the next breath in, we come into halfway lift. So maybe fingertips on the shins, nice flat back. And then exhale back down into your ragdoll and bend your legs. Place the palms down on the ground and let's send the right foot back and lower that knee. Begin to lift up with the body in the hands, staying in this low lunge. Lift all the way up with the in-breath, and then exhale, slowly rotate behind you with the arms and bring the arms, hands back down to the mat. Let's see if we can lift that back knee, and slide into plank. Very brief plank now, really pressing through the heels, pressing the floor away with your hands. Then bring the knees down, release the toes, and keep the elbows close. Bend the elbows and gently bring the chest and the chin all the way down to the ground. Press the fronts of the feet down, activate the legs, roll the shoulder blades back, and let's lift up the head and shoulders. Take a breath in. So this is baby cobra. And then exhale down. Press into the hands, tucking the toes. Breathe into tabletop. And then exhale into downward dog. So lift those hips up to the ceiling. Get a little bit of movement with the feet. And begin to walk forward again towards your hands into your ragdoll. So let's forward fold all the way down. Inhaling, hands out to the side. Come up to standing, all the way up. Palms together above the head, maybe look up. And then exhale, palms to the heart space. We'll do that one more time. So inhale, lifting the hands all the way above the head. And then exhale, forward fold, bending the legs. Nice, generous bend. Inhale, halfway lift. So flat back, halfway. Fingertips on the shins, perhaps. And then exhale, softening down, bending the legs into ragdoll. Place the hands on the mat and send the left foot back this time and lower that knee down. Press into the front foot and we raise the hands up with the in-breath, inhaling all the way up and exhale, circle the arms all the way back, hands come to the mat. Now lift that back knee and slide into plank very briefly and then bring the knees down. Release the toes and let's send that chest down, keeping the elbows nice and close. Activate the legs and then lift up into baby cobra with the head and shoulders and then exhale back down. Tuck the toes, press into the hands, inhale into our tabletop and then we go back into our downward facing dog. Lovely everyone, you're doing a great job. And let's walk the feet one more time up towards the hands into our forward fold. And slowly begin to rise up to standing. The hands come up above the head, palms together, and then rest them down at your heart space. Just take a moment, notice how you feel. Breathing in and out. And reminding ourselves how calm and centered we feel. Okay, so we've got another couple of moves before we come into our relaxation. So transfer the weight to your left foot. So you pick up your right heel and send that right foot behind you, nice and easy, into a high lunge position. So the back leg slightly bent, and the front leg is quite bent. If the feet are hip width apart, you'll get more balance. Yeah, good job. So this is a high lunge. So when you're ready, take a breath in and we're going to raise the hands up and the front leg straightens and the back heel raises. And on the exhale, we soften back down. So we're bending the front leg and the back leg and we're softening down. Hands to heart. Lovely. So inhale, straighten both legs, back heel, hands above the head, stretch. Exhale, hands to the heart, settle back down, softening both legs, bending down. Lovely, everyone. So we've got one more. Inhaling, straightening both legs. Really feel for those fingertips, stretch. And exhale, softening down. Gently bending both legs now. The hands come to the ground and we lower that back knee. Keeping the right hand down on the mat. We're coming into a side twist. You can either do it in this position or you can lift the back knee, depending how strong you want. And then we're going to raise that left hand up to the sky and stretch up. Maybe look up or maybe look down at the hand on the mat. So you can lower the back knee, bring that left hand back down to the mat, and then slide back into your tabletop. And then one more downward facing dog, pressing into the hands, lifting up those hips, keeping the legs bent, and then one more walk towards the top of the mat. I think I said that last time, so a little bit of a fib. And let's forward fold into our ragdoll. Inhaling all the way up to standing, palms together, and then down to the heart space. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. So transfer the weight to the right foot. Pick up the left foot, slowly deliver it behind you. So nice and slow. The slower you go, the better. So plant the toes behind you. So we take an inhale, straightening both legs, lift the back heel, hands come up above the head, nice and stretched. Exhale, bouncing down, nice and soft. Great. Inhaling, lifting up, straightening both legs. Exhale, palms together to the heart space, bend the front leg, and the back leg. So one more, inhaling up and exhaling, soften, soften all the way down. Bring the hands down to the mat and lower that back knee. So in our low lunge, now you can stay here for our side twist or plant the left palm down and you can lift that back knee up. It's entirely up to you, your choice. Lifting the right hand up into a twist now. Just do what you can, okay? Go to your appropriate edge. So your back knee could be down or it could be lifted. So we're lifting up into looking at the top hand if we can. And then we lower the back knee down and the right hand floats down. And let's slide into tabletop, knees together, ankles together, and slowly bring the hips back into child pose. And see if we can get the forehead to touch the ground. So we'll rest here for 3 breaths. And just reminding ourselves of how calm and centered. So gently coming out of child pose, back into tabletop, and just slide your feet to the side, and we're coming into that comfortable seat again. So we're seating, coming down to the mat, extend the left leg out and hug your right knee in. Lovely. So the left elbow comes around that right knee, and we're going to do a spinal twist again. So lifting out the waist, and let's have a look round to the back of the room. So there's no forcing, it's just a nice gentle rotation. Softening that right shoulder away from the ear. And then on the next breath, let's turn to the front and we'll change legs. So the left knee, hug it in, right leg out, and let's wrap the right elbow around the left knee and begin to twist round, looking behind you to your left. So you'll notice your breath slightly restricted by the left thigh coming into the belly. So maybe take the breath into the right rib cage. And we're just breathing nice and calmly. And then return to the front. Now this is the best bit. We're coming into savasana, which is the corpse pose, which isn't very cheery. So we're going to come lying down on our backs. Now this is a pose. So this is where they say all the magic happens. So all the moves that we've just done, the body will feed back. So this is where we need to keep stillness if we can. So let's lie down on our backs, nice and comfortable. Now the traditional corpse pose is the feet slightly wider than the hips and let the toes fall out to the side. And then your arms flat on the ground, your palms facing up. Gently tuck that chin in very slightly so the back of the neck's nice and long. Now this is where we rest. If you have any discomfort in your back, you can bend your knees, place the soles of the feet down on the edge of the mat and let the knees rest together. So choose your pose. And we're going to take a lovely breath through the nose and out of the mouth together. So collectively, let's take a lovely big breath in. So inhaling, and let's squeeze everything we can. Clasp the hands, press the toes, squeeze the glutes, get the face involved. And then exhale all the way out of the mouth. So now I invite you to try and stay still. Not for long, maybe a minute and a half, 60 or 90 seconds. And let's just observe our breath. How are we breathing? Focus on your breath. If any thoughts come and let them go. They're just thoughts. And we're resting into the ground. So your feet and your legs, your hips, your pelvis, your whole spine resting, relaxing into the floor. Your shoulders, both arms and hands relaxed. And your jaw, soften your jaw. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth and soften your eyelids and smooth, relaxed forehead. And just breathing in and breathing out. A few more, about 30 seconds rest. Enjoy the rest. Watching your breath. Now coming back into the room, maybe wiggle your fingers nice and slowly, and maybe your toes, maybe some ankle rolls or circles with the hands. Just get some movement back into the body, and let's assist the knees up towards the belly, towards the chest, and let's rock side to side, awakening the spine again. And if you can, roll over to your right side, just for a moment. Take a moment, pressing into the hands, coming up to that seated position again. I invite you to keep your eyes closed. And let's rest our hands back to our heart space. And we'll just check in. How do we feel now compared to the start of the class? Hopefully calm, hopefully centered. And it's always good to give yourself thanks for your practice, taking the time out for some relaxation. So let's place the palms together now, and let's rest the thumbs at the space in between your eyebrows, the third eye. Maybe a gentle nod. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. Namaste.